this is Laura and Margie back this week with Raising Gen Z. And one of the things that we thought about is you might be wondering, what is Gen Z? Because honestly, until we really thought about getting this started and sharing our experiences, I wasn't aware that there was actually a label that had been put on this generation of kids. So this week we're going to tell you about Gen Z, what they're doing, who they are, and the most important thing, I think, would be to know that they are the digital natives of any generation. They are digital savvy.
Yeah, so Gen Z is Generation Z, obviously.
Yes.
For a while, I didn't even know what that was. But anyway, we figured that out.
Yeah,
for sure.
You might hear them called sometimes iGen or the Centennials. I think iGen is not as much because of the whole Apple thing. So that Generation Z is pretty much what the recognized label that we have for these kids. Emojis, emoticons, that is their alphabet, that is their thing.
Pretty much, yeah, I would say.
If they can say something in 3 letters or less, they are perfectly happy.
LOL.
LOL.
Just kidding.
Yeah, which I'm having to ask my kids, well, what's this mean? Or, the emojis, when I go to put an emoji on, of course, if you're like me, my kids are like, Mom, don't put those on there. That's the wrong one. I don't know what they mean.
Right. I just kind of put whatever I feel like it, and I think it's cute.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it.
The smiley face.
So,
I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Definitely like the generation of digital kids, like full digital kids. Like they were born into it. So they're not, like you were saying earlier in our conversation, that the millennials kind of are always looking for the like latest
and greatest.
Right? And then but with us, like for the kids that we have, like they were kind of just born into it. That's all they know. Like that is what they know.
My oldest son, since I have 4 boys, my oldest son is 23. He's part of the Centennial group. I actually know Centennial, the Millennial group.
Millennials, yeah.
And so, he had a flip phone, so he remembers a flip phone. And my other boys, they just think that's hilarious, this idea.
Oh yeah, I found my old one, and Maddie says, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's a phone," and she just thought it was the funniest thing. She started playing. She goes, "The numbers are so small, I can't even see it." I'm like, "Yes, I do. I honestly, I don't know how we used to do this, and then it used to flip up." But yes,
yeah, that's
totally.
what they know. And when you look at it from a time period, because everybody wants to put a timestamp, it's generally anyone born after 1995. That would be more of the Generation Z group. So my oldest son, he's right there on the cusp, but he remembers the having to call to find out what movies were playing, things like that, where this generation, all they know is digital. They just look everything up there's Wi-Fi everywhere. I remember having to drive around looking for a Wi-Fi spot.
Right.
So that is the biggest marker with this Gen Z group. And the other thing is their diversity. They are the most diverse group, diverse generation. They don't even recognize that they are so diverse because that's all they know. They're global. They're everywhere. They're connecting everywhere, and they're also very, very entrepreneurial.
Absolutely.
They're self-starters.
Like, Maddie, my daughter, she's almost 12. She has a sense of like wanting to be an entrepreneur. I mean, granted, yes, I am. She sees it every day because I'm always working, but she has a sense of like in the future she wants to own her own company, and actually not even in the future, I guess future as in like in a year. Like she's has this little slime account, and she wants to sell slime, and then the next day she wants to sell this other stuff. But like the whole concept of her being a leader and wanting to be at the top of a company, and that's sort of like her direction, and it's real interesting because I didn't grow up that way. Like I wish I knew now or then what I know now, because it would be on a completely different level. So that's very interesting, and I see that across a lot of her friends as well.
And part of that, the driving force behind that, has been that this generation has grown up with the economic trends that we've had. They've seen some of their parents struggle, lose their homes, lose their jobs. And so for them, that's instilled this drive to be financially independent and to be self-starters. They're extremely educated. They are whether it's in school or they're educating themselves, because they have access to everything. They need to know something, they just go on the internet and they watch a YouTube video and they figure it out.
You know, one real interesting thing too that I see with my daughter is she's really concerned about like the world and the people that live in, you know, outside of the United States, and you know, her questions are always like, why do we have something? Why don't we have some? Why don't they have it? And what can we do to help the future and the world, and you know, that kind of thing. So I don't remember thinking of that when I was a kid. Or
No,
like,
no, at all.
I didn't think of any of this stuff, so it's very interesting, this generation. So, you know, we just wanted to kind of share with you our thoughts on what that was, and as always, we're interested in hearing what your thoughts are. So please, you know, subscribe and comment below, ask us any questions. We're always around. And next week, what are we doing?
Well, next week, talking about how tech savvy and how digital this group is going to kind of lead us into our next week, possibly 2 weeks of topics, because the plus of this group is they are so independent and they're just out there, but the negative is because they have this ability to navigate the web in ways that their parents can't. It opens up some other issues with keeping them safe and just making sure that they don't find themselves in any trouble. So I think the next week we have we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have a guest on our channel. I like to say show, but it's really channel. The Laura and Margie show. But anyway, yes, we will have someone next week to kind of go over some tips on what they feel might be some safe ways to navigate the internet. So anyway, thanks so much. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.